Excuse me. Hi, Sugar Pies. How's it going today? Hopefully, it's going good on this lovely Friday or whatever day of the week that you're watching this. I hope it's good. I hope you're feeling good. I hope everything's good in your neighborhood. Everything's good in my neighborhood. We got a little bit of rain during the morning hours. Not a lot, not my favorite kind of weather, but it was a little bit. And it's oh my god, that's what I hate scam calls. Look, do you guys get an abnormally an abnormal amount of scam calls like these days? Or is it just me? Like it's been a very abnormal amount of scam calls for a while now. So if I don't recognize it or if it pops up scam, because my phone has this thing where it pops up and it tells you if it's a scam, like most likely. Or if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer it because these scammers are fucking crazy these days. Oh my gosh, super crazy. It's wild. But anyway, I hope you're doing good. Hope everything's cool. Um, there is some new, I guess, tea when it comes to Gypsy Rose. But I feel this is important, that something that needs to be addressed. It's not none of this baby daddy drama, like, oh, he's cheating. This is actually something that should be addressed. And I find interesting. You guys know I don't like to give that twat stain any more attention than needs need be, because ugh, oh, there's some Amber Lynn stuff too, but I feel like I've been giving that blob of a human being too much of my time lately. So if you want to know, just go ahead and you look up independently. She's not getting any more of my time, at least until something substantial happens. I just, oh god, I have the amount of disdain for that bitch I have is unreal. Anyway, apparently, the Dan, if you know the Gypsy, you're here because you know the Gypsy, the whole situation. I mean, let's face it. So you already know. And if you don't know, go down the rabbit hole. There's tons. But anyway, apparently the Dan, remember Dan, the first guy that she manipulated? Oh, I don't, well, yeah. Yeah. The first, you know. I don't have to explain it. Well, apparently people have been showing around a picture of the supposed Dan guy, and guess what? It's not even the actual guy. Wow, that's quite funny in a lot of ways. And I'm like, first off, I think to myself, all of you people have been passing around like the guy wasn't innocent because obviously he had a criminal record, but he's not the person that you're saying he is. Like, that's misinformation. So you guys are throwing around misinformation like it's nothing. And then when you find out it's misinformation, you act like it's not a big deal, and you're like, you know what I mean? Very much. That because any other time they'd be like, "Oh no, misinformation. We can't have that." We don't pass around that. And then this whole time you've been passing around misinformation. It's just funny. I find it funny a little bit, just a little. But more than that, I'm just saying. Um, yeah, let's just watch a video. Let's watch this. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's the wrong dude. But as you know, I like to watch and discuss certain, whatever videos and stuff. And only a select few of the good ones I watch and present to you guys and give free promo. You're welcome. Let's just watch. Let's watch this together and give our thoughts and opinions. And I think we will watch. Now, this is not a long video. It's straight to the point. But of course, we always got to give our thoughts and opinions on the subject matter. So, you know, we got to pause here and there and talk about it. But anyway, I'm probably going to show you this Toddy video because we love Toddy. She's very straight to the point. I mean, she's nice and she jokes around, and I love that, a sense of humor in somebody. That's a great trait. But also, she delivers the facts. And I like that. Okay. All right, babes. I'm getting it all set up right now. Right as we speak. Oh, hi, Lily. Oh, right. There is some interesting there's it's not really a development, but it is something I find interesting. Some tea, if you will, going on, and then old Gypsy Rose. Oh gosh, girl, you and me both. You and me both. I'm feeling more certain that it is gonna happen. She I have a feeling that something is going to lead to her. This is just my feelings, my intuition, what have you. But I feel like something is going to occur. What that is, I do not know. But I feel like something is going to occur to where Jip Fuck does indeed violate her parole or whatever. And they can't look the other way on that. Sorry, but I mean, especially somebody who's so public like that, they're going to have to, even if she's getting special treatment or not, she's going to have to go back. No, I didn't. This is what she wrote. I'm not going back to jail, okay? Yeah. And you know what? You know what I feel reading that? I feel like she was saying she's not going back to jail. It makes me feel like it's one of them, when we were watching the true crime stuff and the guy's like, I will not go back to jail. I will, off myself before I go back to that. Very much those vibes. But I do feel like she is going to violate her parole. Like, I feel like she's already is, but they're giving her leniency. I feel like she's going to do something so drastic that it violates her parole and they are forced to send her back no matter what. Because I feel like she's getting a lot of leniency. Oh, absolutely. She's very worried. Good. Sit in it. Be paranoid. You deserve it, you freaking horrible human being. Oh, I don't envy her life. I am sorry. I know she's getting all kinds of money for just whatever. But I do not envy her life. No amount of money could ever make me look past being noided out, living in fear and worry all the time. Like, no way. I'm sorry. I'm a poor. I'm a poor. I'm poor and my life is beautiful and fabulous. And I mean, there's always ups and downs in life and everybody's life, nobody's life is perfect. But mentally, spiritually, oh, emotionally, it is wonderful. And no amount of money would let me jeopardize. I would not jeopardize it for any amount of money. I'll just be a poor. I'll just be a peasant all my life. I'm okay with that. Okay, babes, give me 2.5 seconds and I'll be right back with you. Okay, babes, I'm back. Oh, breaking news. Breaking news. This is more important to talk about, I feel like. Remember Adaptive Kate, the girl we stood up for because Gypsy was bullying her? The girl who we were like, this girl, she's a legitimate survivor of Munchausen by proxy, and Gypsy's making fun of her and being mean to her and blah, blah, blah. Remember that? We stood up for her. How hard we went for that girl. Yep, she sure is. And I feel like an absolute fool for sticking up for this lady and having compassion for her being in my thoughts and prayers. Legit. She is a piece of shit, just like Gypsy. They're peas in a pod. This was all, they orchestrated this behind the scenes, orchestrated drama for money. That's how disgusting. And her mother was not the cause of her leg being gone. Oh my God. I feel like an absolute fool. Straight up. A little video straight out of context. Straight Out of Context is the. I'm not gonna watch that one. It's longer, but hang on, I'll show you guys the video. The channel's called Straight Out of Context. Okay. See that right there? Adaptive Kate fabricated MVP story. And this girl has the receipts. Receipts. She has the receipts. Oh, I hate, that is so annoying that happens. I swear, Lily. One of these days, once we get a substantial little whatever going on here, we'll just move over to something like Rumble or something where we don't get, yeah. When Jip had what she had done to her mom. Yes. Okay. Gotcha. She ditched a cat. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She also, yeah, that's another thing. She has no problem treating animals like shit. She's happy for the cat. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for real though. That's ridiculous. What do I tell you guys? I don't judge. I try not to be judgmental. But there is two things that I'm going to judge you on. And that is how you treat children and how you treat animals. How this bitch treats children is yet to be determined. Oh, God. But how she treats animals, that's, I feel like that's how you would treat a child. God be with that poor child if there is a child. Well, that's good. The cat has a nice home. That's good. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's not even ridiculous. The restrictions on YouTube anymore is just unreal, dude. But you're good. Anyway. Let me see here. I want to watch this Toddy video with you guys. Oh, yeah, Flo. Right, Lily? Oh, my gosh. It's ridiculous. It is. Oh, here it is. Right there. Duh. Anyway, I want to watch Toddy with you guys because I like Toddy. And you guys like Toddy. She's really cool.
Critics are screaming for Alien Romulus, which is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh my God.
Entertainment Weekly raves. It's one hell of a night out at the movies. It's the summer's best. Alien Romulus.
Hopefully that don't get a stupid copyright thing. That
hey guys, this is Issues with Toddy One Skip.
That I have to edit out. That's, oh my God. I'm glad that YouTube Studio has a handy dandy feature like that now, though. That is so cool and handy. So I can do that, but it's really annoying. And it takes forever. Anyway, okay. All right, let's talk about this Dan situation with Toddy.
I am Toddy One Skip. You're not Toddy One Skip, but that's okay because you're here and this is our community. Our community, over 12,000 of you guys, because there's one of me. So, you know, Guys, I'm so proud to be part of this community. I see you guys exchange how you doing with each other, all these, salutations. And I just, you guys have found a community, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it.
I totally know how she feels, because that's how I feel like when I see you guys talking with each other in the chat and hanging out and chilling and like just shooting a shit. I love it. That makes my heart very joyful. It's great. It is.
What are you eating? There's some steak here. Steak with onions and potato wedges. All I gotta do is go home, cook an egg, put it on top, hit the egg, and have the yolk go. A little bit of salt and pepper.
I wonder if Toddy partakes. It's like that's a stoner thing to say. No, that like I could visualize that though. I wonder if she partakes. I'm just saying. Right? Me too, Lily. That sounds fire.
In my soul. That's my brekkie. I do want to do the Wade Wilson sentencing with you guys. Do you want to do it live with?
Oh my God, Wade Wilson. I can't watch anything to do with him because he's an evil piece of shit, yeah. But oh my God, he's so hot. I hate it. I hate it because he's horrible. And I'm like, oh my God, am I a bristophiliac because I think he's hot? And I'm like, no, he's horrific and he's scared. And I know, oh my God, he's scary. But the fact that he's so scary outside makes me extremely attracted to him. So I'm like, no, I can't do this. I can't. Because I would feel like a bristophiliac or whatever it's called. Oh, I know. Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, thank you. I refuse. He is evil and disgusting and mentally like fucked up individual that needs to go away for the rest of his life and never see the light of day again. I know his story. I know what happened, and that's about it. But I am so physically attracted to him, and I'm like, oh my God, he's hot as fuck. And I'm like, no, I don't want to feel that way towards this evil piece of shit. Yeah. Amen, sister. Amen, sister. Oh, cannot. Anywho, let's go. Let's listen to Toddy.
With me? Let's do it. Seriously, let's do it. I think we'll have fun with it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit. I'm committing to it. So let's do it. Okay, so the difference in Dan's. Guys, you know that, well...
Here, hang on, guys. I'm going to turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone so that maybe it'll stop buffering. I know that's just annoying. I'm sorry.
Well, I had a very specific picture.
Okay, so this is the Dan. Everybody was like, oh, that's Dan. Okay.
Of the Dan in Gypsy's life. And the Dan that I had on my mind was a guy that was convicted of, I don't want to say that felonies, but definitely misdemeanors, had some drug issues. We know this because, unfortunately, a lot of us thought that Dan Glidewell.
Yes, this is the original Dan who everyone thought was the Dan. And I even thought it was too. You know, all these channels were plastering this picture. I remember this one specifically, this guy.
Was the Dan Glidewell, who was the older fellow that Gypsy was with by so many years. The Dan Glidewell that has been exposed, that I heard.
This is the original, or the actual Dan. The actual, allegedly, whatever. But yeah, this is the actual Dan. I'm going to give you a minute to take this in.
Was the Dan Glidewell was from Anxious Ant. I don't know who was the first one to determine who the new Dan Glidewell was, or who the real Dan Glidewell stand up. So I don't know who the first person was for that. But to me, it was Anxious Ant. So Anxious.
Okay, these girls are they're who I originally heard it from as well. But then Toddy, yeah, but I heard it from. Now, I can't tell you where. It was on YouTube. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe it was Britt covered this, and I seen it and showed these girls' video. I think they did a TikTok or something, which I don't fuck with TikTok, so that's probably why I didn't see these girls originally. But I've seen this video through Toddy, and I think it was Britt. I can't remember. But anyway, yes. This is where I also heard this.
Say it. Kudos to you, you Australian girls. I love your content. I've said that a million times. And I just think you're fantastic. I think that your channel will grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And you guys are definitely very entertaining. So kudos to you. And kudos to you for digging and diving and finding out.
I don't know. The only video I've seen is this video. But they seem very personal. And I love anybody with an accent talking. I'm sorry, but I love it. Australian, English, Irish, like Scottish, whatever. Anybody with an accent, I love listening to you. That's just,
who the real Dan is, because see, doesn't that change our picture in our head of what happened that night?
Nope. Not at all. If anything, it makes it stronger.
Like, I thought, okay, Dan did some of this, but the Dan in my mind was a big guy who was an older fellow, and that was the picture. Now I see somebody like Ken.
It makes more sense now. It makes more sense now.
That could Dee have, is that the face? Because the other face I bought, but is that the face of a guy that could do something? It's possible because...
Now, Toddy, I don't like this. We cannot, listen to me. All of you who follow true crime stuff, and if you're here at this moment, you probably are. What have we learned, folks? Never judge a book by its cover. I'll give you a for instance. Okay. I can't remember her name, but the little old lady, this was years ago, the little old lady who looked like a nice, kind grandma. She did things for the community, baked cookies and goodies for people, took in the homeless with like mental disabilities and stuff like that into her home and looked after them. And everybody's like, oh my God, she's such an amazing person. I think she won awards and stuff. Just this little old lady. I can't remember her name. I wish I could remember. But it turned out that this little old lady was actually not as old as she portrayed herself, and was taking in these homeless, disabled people so that she could off them and bury them in her backyard and collect their disability checks. Looked like the sweetest little old granny you ever seen. That is why we do not judge books by the cover, my darlings. We judge people by the energy, the feeling. Well, we shouldn't judge, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Do not judge a book by its cover, my darling.
We all know that Nick doesn't have the face of a guy that could do something. But in all honesty, we don't really know what Nick did. So now several of you have said, but at the trial, Dan spoke. Don't you guys have pictures? I've never seen a picture of that, but apparently some of you have seen pictures of that. And then they disappeared. Now somebody's supposed to come up with a picture of that today from the trial. But I just thought that person spoke to a detective. I didn't know that Dan Glidewell actually got on stand and spoke at the trial, because why wouldn't that be available? Here's the thing. I got to stop saying that, because I do want to stop saying that. Does the new Dan Glidewell seem like he could do something that we would think that the old Dan Glidewell could do? And what is this old?
Yeah. Yeah. Simple. Yeah. Like I said, you can't judge a book by its cover, babe.
Yeah. How come he's been stumped for a long time? How come he hasn't come out and said, that's not me? That's not me. And then somebody.
Great question. Fabulous question. Why hasn't he come out and been like, that's not me? Fabulous. Fabulous question. Lost on the whole Dan thing, plus another Dan, the neighbor, something the neighbor knows more, allegedly. Allegedly, yes. Well, man, it's all, see, this is when it starts to get all convoluted like that, that's when I get more suspicious, because what are you trying to confuse us about? You know what I mean? Those of you who watch true crime stuff and have watched this shit play out in front of our very eyes, I mean, hello. I mean, think about some, I hate talking about it, I know, but political stuff and put it out here to confuse us because there's a cover-up going on. When there's a cover-up going on, there's a bunch of things thrown out to confuse everybody. So you get all these conspiracy theories and different misinformations going around and stuff. This is deeper than what we think. Allegedly, in my opinion.
Somebody said, hey, it's the same guy. He's just older. I don't think so. But how come the old Dan Glidewell hasn't come out and said, hey, that's not me? Isn't that weird? Because if I was being accused of things, I'd be like, yo, man, that's not me. That's just not me. So that's kind of weird. We never heard, and you would think that somebody would be saying, hey, not me.
You would think, oh my God, yes. Oh my God, I don't care if we get copyright for this, but we're watching this because I'm a Bath and Body Works free girlfriend. That's the kind I got. And I got that lotion, Candy Apple Cauldron. Oh my gosh. Wicked Vanilla Woods. Oh. Fabulous. All smell fabulous as well. I never smelled the
not
Vanilla
me,
Woods one.
But
though.
I don't know. So, but
they didn't have. They had Vanilla Woods, like they had a candle there, but they didn't have like the body stuff when I went. And they had the Halloween display. They just had like Girlfriend, big old display of vampire blood, and a display of the candy apple cauldron. They didn't have the vanilla woods, but they had the candle there. But anyway, sorry.
How the girls go.
Oh. Also, before I get back into this, speaking of Bath and Body Works, babes, my mother just told me that she ordered some more hand soap because we like the hand soaps. Fall scents are out now. Guys, you have to get online and get you some. $2.50 hand soaps. The foaming hand soaps. You guys got to do it. Do it. Hurry up. We'll have a scent. I'll expect that soon too, because I'm going to make a video and let you guys know what I think about them, because that's what I do.
She's got a type. Well, not with Ryan, but I guess Ryan was just a means to an end. What do you got?
Ryan looked good on paper. He was the money that she needed. She was the house that she benefited, or he benefited her. Straight coming out of the pokey. Gypsy Rose, she doesn't have people in her life unless she can use them for an ulterior motive to help herself. That's what kind of person she is. Clearly, this is what kind of person she is. I mean, if you don't see that, what is wrong with you? Like, seriously, there's something, I don't know.
What do you guys think? Do you think Ken, it was in on the, hey, babe, you can't come out and live with me. So I want you to go find somebody who you could use and go live with, have sex with, and, break up with 4 months after. I don't.
Yeah, and not to mention he will buy you all kinds of fucking Louis Vuittons and Versace and Gucci and anything you want. You'll get all the monies. That's what it's all about, man.
I don't know about that. Like, what would have been the goal behind that? So I don't buy that theory. I think that Gypsy used Ryan as an address and wanted to use him to make Ken jealous. She never had any intentions of staying with him, even when she got.
Lily, I have to agree with you on that. Ken is money hungry loser. My opinion as well. And I can't stand Ryan either. Yeah, Ryan's a douchebag. Like, he has a horrible personality that I have seen. I'm sorry, but he's got a very arrogant personality. I don't think and there's something weird. I think he is into certain fetishes with an F, and he pays for stuff. This is just my opinion. My opinion, this is not facts. This is just me thinking. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, exactly. They have a sick, yeah. Just our opinion. Just our opinion. Just our opinion. But yeah, I have to agree. Ken is a money hungry loser too.
You got the dog. And that's the thing that pisses me off. Gypsy, you knew you were getting that dog, and you knew you were going to leave that dog, and you knew that Ryan worked a lot, and that's not fair. Mm-hmm. So the fact that, first of all, I don't like Gypsy. I just don't like her.
Me neither.
I think she's not a good person. Mm-hmm. I think she discards people. We've seen the videos of what I think about Gypsy Rose. We've seen that. But the Dan has got me scratching my head. The Dan. I've only been following this.
Maybe it is him when he was younger. I don't know. That looks like a different guy to me, though.
Case, actively kind of since what, March or April? right? March or April, I'd say. Maybe. I don't know. December or something. I don't know. But there are people who've been following this case for a really long time. And how come it's taken two girls from Australia to say, hey, you guys got the wrong Dan in that wonderful accent that they have. But they love our accent. Yo, man, we got the wrong Dan. You got the right Dan. How'd they do that? How'd that happen? And now it seems that other people are saying, oh, well, I already knew that wasn't the right Dan. Well, this is the right. Really? How come I only heard it from across a huge pond over there from Australia?
Yeah.
And what do you guys think? Now,
Yeah. A very huge one. Exactly.
that we have a different picture of a different Dan, does it change the picture that we have in our head of what happened that night?
No.
Or
for me, no. Not at all. I still think what I think. My opinions are still the same.
Or what we think happened that night. I still think Gypsy unalived Dee Dee, or maybe Dan did.
Agree. She was part of the process.
Or maybe somebody else did, or maybe she was medicated and like overly medicated and
Bingo.
And then she was taken care of over the course of a couple days, because still, guys, still says that it took a few days. Like, she didn't pass away like that. It took some time. That's what I heard. The autopsy said that it took some time, or the police report said, or the crime report. I don't know. That's what I heard, that it took some time. You know, wouldn't it be a kick in the pants if there was never a Dee Dee and none of this ever happened and it was just some sort of ploy? Because everything about this case has gone cockadoodle, skywalking, I don't know what, but just upside down. You turn me. Seriously, like everything about this case is just like been mixed up, thrown up in.
I'm poor right now, Toddy. I cannot become a member. So no thank you right at the moment. No thank you at the moment. I love you, and I will when I got extra money, but right now I don't. Anyway, I want to read some of these comments. He testified in the court case. Doesn't change my mind. Yeah, it doesn't change mine either. I'm starting to think that Glidewell was his cosplay name. That's funny, Glidewell. Oh my God, shut up, Sarah. But no, I want to read these comments. I want to read some of these comments. Ryan's too nice for her. I'm happy the doggy escaped too. Ryan's kind of a douche. I heard that Krusty and Ken are caught in a kissing scandal. There will be a video. Wow, what on earth is this family doing? Krusty and Ken were caught kissing? Gasp. Oh, yeah, it's hard to tell. It could be clickbait because people aren't above like making shit up for the views. But that's not going to be good for Christy. We all know what happened to Dee Dee. Will that be the same fate for Christy? Gypsy needs to be stopped before someone else gets hurt. That's kind of a reach, but maybe. Oh, this person, Patricia, says she heard that Ken and Christy were doing the horizontal tango. Just saw it last night. As far as Dan, totally confused. I believe Gypsy is ringleader and got poor Nick involved. Not quite sure what's up with the Dan person. Would love to hear, however, what Nick and Dan's side of the story. Yes, I think a lot would be revealed, just my opinion. Yeah, Nick and Dan both.
What I wonder about Dan is why did Nick say he would forgive everybody except Dan? What did Dan do? Did Dan find out Gypsy planned on leaving? Did Nick find out Gypsy planned on leaving with Dan? But Dan backed out. Gypsy is lucky the guys in her life are not spilling any tea. So lucky. If I had to rank the guys in order of who I would like to spill the beans, Nick is number one, absolutely. Dan, number two, absolutely. Ryan and Ken are a toss up. Absolutely, I agree with that. Yes, I remember that. Allegedly, I remember that. Poison was an option. They discussed him. Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly. I remember that though. Allegedly. No, I do. I remember that. Like, why not? Why did it have to be the way that it was? And why did Jip make it the way that it happened? Poison, that would have been so much better and less painful for her. But it just it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah, right. I was wondering what Nick was talking about when I watched Nick's interrogation video and he said that he would not forgive Dan. Did Nick see Dan with Gypsy the night that Dee Dee was murdered, or did Gypsy tell Nick something about Dan after Dee Dee's? Yeah. Girl, the questions. So many. Bottom line, I think a lot of it has to do with money and people are being paid. Like Ken's legit being paid to be Gypsy's boyfriend, husband, whatever. Like she probably even pays him to like be intimate with her because I don't feel like he's attracted to her in the slightest bit. I feel like he's repulsed to even be sitting next to her. Like those pictures, you guys remember the pregnancy announcement pictures? Those are the most awkward, most like, oh my God, the most awkward like pregnancy pictures I have ever seen in my life. He is not attracted to her in the slightest bit. And you can see it. He's being paid. He's being paid for this. And he knows it. And it's gross. Yeah, I just don't like any of these guys. Bottom line, I don't like any of them. They're gross. They make me... I feel like I need to go take a shot of Pepto right now. It's gross. But anyway, that's the tea on that, darlings. I think I'm going to wrap this one up because I do believe the kids are coming over today. So I'm not sure what time. They're back to school, I'm pretty sure. So it'll probably be, well, I don't know. I don't remember. But anyway, I'm pretty sure they're back to school. So I need to get ready for them, straighten up a little bit, whatever, even though I'm going to be cleaning all weekend. That's how it goes. Anyways, that's the tea on that, darlings. We'll be back next week. I hope you have a great weekend. Tuesday, if not Sunday, maybe we'll do a little pop-up thing on Sunday. But we'll see. You just never know with me. You got to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and shit. All that stuff. All the things. Do all the things. Anyways, okay, babes. As always, I like to remind you that your time is the most valuable thing that you could give to me or anybody. So please never forget that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your time. Okay. Tippy tippies are appreciated to the Cash App or the PayPal scrolling at the bottom of the screen, but definitely not necessary, darlings. Not necessary. Like I said, your time is the most valuable thing you can give me. So thank you for that. Okay. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. But okay. As always, I hope and wish and pray for every single one of you hearing my voice right now. Health, wealth, success, and happiness, and blessings and protection over every single one of you. And especially protection over all of our children because they need it the most in these times. Especially. Okay? Amen to that. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, sugar pie.